Good afternoon. My name is Janice Ledbetter, and I'm here to talk to you about a subject that literally brings me to tears: animal cruelty. As some of you may remember from my last speech, I am a passionate advocate for animal rights. I've been a member of the ASPCA and the Humane Society of the United States for many years now, and I also do what I can locally to help abandoned and neglected animals, which may explain why I'm a one-woman rescue group for 9 dogs. Sadly, not everyone has as much compassion for animals. In fact, it isn't hard at all to turn on the TV or look on the internet and find some horror story involving a helpless animal. The People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals, or PETA website, tells us that Florida law is being reconsidered after a dog was bludgeoned in an attempt to get its elderly owner to submit to something that the perpetrator was trying to get the owner to do. In 2007, there were 1,880 cruelty cases reported to PETA. And of those, 1,212, or 64.5%, involved abused dogs. And 337, or 18%, were cats. Just to name a few that I vividly remember, there was the dog in Nashville a couple of years ago that was dropped off an overpass onto a busy interstate. And then there also was a dog in Nashville who was punted like a football for lack of something better to do, I suppose. And the one that I personally remember and witnessed myself was a little dog being thrown over the side of a porch rail onto the ground simply because he had had an accident in the house. Then I have my own rescue dogs with their stories to tell. Honey, the Rottweiler, was found on the side of a busy highway. She was starved almost to death. Her owner had abused her. She still wears scars from his hand, and she had a broken leg when I found her. Then there's Sunny and Annie, both of whom have had the misfortune to meet up with hunters in the woods. Annie, a couple of years ago, was shot with a gun and spent the weekend at the vet. And Sunny has just returned a couple of weeks ago from the vet, where she had the misfortune to meet a hunter with a bow and arrow, and she was shot with the arrow. Now people, if you cannot tell the difference between a dog and a deer, you have no business in the woods with a weapon of any kind. In Tennessee, cruelty against animals is considered a misdemeanor, regardless of the severity of the act or the offense committed. That's according to the Tennessee Code Annotated. Let's look at what a misdemeanor means. A misdemeanor, according to the Encarta Online Dictionary, is a less serious crime or a minor misdeed. Come on, people. A minor misdeed or a less serious crime for taking a life, any life. Let's see what we can do about changing that to a felony. And as you can see, a felony is a serious crime. It's punished more severely than a misdemeanor and can, and very often does, involve prison time. Now, I believe that if our Tennessee laws were changed, that would make a huge difference in the number of abuse and neglect cases that we see with animals in Tennessee. And you can play an integral part in making that happen. You may be asking yourself, how? What can I do? I'm just one person. Well, everything begins with one thought, one action, or one idea. You can choose to become part of a grassroots effort by exercising your rights as a constituent of your local legislator. The ASPCA website offers suggestions on how you can become involved. First of all, set up a meeting with your legislator when he or she is not in session. Explain what you want and the reasons you want it, and take a one-page note with you with bullet points outlining what you want, and leave it with your legislator. It's best to bring 2 or 3 other voters with you. This is better than a petition because measures backed by a coalition of registered voters is always more likely to be taken seriously. Try to present your suggestions in a way that captures the legislator's attention, and follow up with him after the meeting. Send a thank you note, or telephone him and tell him how much you appreciate his time. Remind your legislator of promises that he's made to you during the meeting before the next session begins. Ask him if he still intends to sponsor a bill, and if so, could you please have a copy of that bill? Never say things that may be perceived as threatening, such as, "I pay your salary." And above all, conduct your meeting in the same way that you would conduct a job interview. Be prepared, present your argument in a courteous and professional manner. So in conclusion, I hope that you all are as passionate about the welfare of helpless animals as I am, and I also fervently hope that you will join me in doing whatever you can to alleviate the unnecessary suffering of thousands of animals by first reporting any abuse you witness or become aware of, and second, by becoming a part of the effort to change Tennessee laws to make animal cruelty offenses a felony instead of a misdemeanor with only menial fines. Thank you for your time.